cards made for me one
How many
time.
BTUs
It
does a
was a
person
lady that did
33 p.m. We are adjourning for closed session at this time. Thank you. Good evening. We are calling to order our open session for our board meeting this evening, Tuesday, August 15, 2023, at 6:09 p.m. No action was taken in closed session. Scott Schlops, would you kindly lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this evening?
Whether you rise, place the flag, put your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Dr. Klechter, would you like to begin with Superintendent's report, please?
Well, first of all, just to say thank you to everybody that made it such a really a good start. I mean, everything from, first of all, our principals, Mr. Lynch here, and I see Lindy there, and so it's great to see all our teachers put all the work to get it going, get the classroom started, first day, all of those things. Big shout out to all our classified employees, and I got a chance to go around with Scott and his team to every single school, and we looked at things like toilets and drinking fountains and making sure that those things were ready. And I really, I think one of the best starts that I can remember. Really, just a great group of folks who were ready, purchasing people, and all they did. So big shout out to Mike McAdams, our personnel department, and all the work that they did. So it was just a great team effort. It was so cool just to see everybody really focused and to feel a little back to normal. So it was fun to feel that. I know we have the next item, so I won't steal the thunder, but I am excited about a new person we're going to introduce.
Yeah, well, as a matter of fact, Dr. Hammett, would you like to go ahead and address this next item? Well, I guess while we're waiting though, but fellow trustees, this is discussion item number 1 from section 10. I take it there's no objection to moving this item up to right now. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, after a very extensive and I would say probably on her part exhaustive process, we are very pleased to announce that we have found a new Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services. We had a extensive background screening. We ran interviews that involved staff and community and parents. We did a series of background checks and reference checks, and I'm very pleased to announce that we are bringing to you tonight for consideration Dr. Adana Brown for our new Assistant Superintendent, Educational Services.
On behalf of everybody here, thank you so much. We are excited to have you begin. I know that you'll be joining middle of September officially. Ordinarily, this would be a time where you might introduce your family. It just so happens that they're only about a 20-minute drive away, so if at any later date you wish to bring them and introduce them, we would love to meet them here as well. And by the way, this was item I, not item 1. I apologize. And we'll take a break at some point, but you're welcome to stay for the entire meeting. But on behalf of the entire district, welcome, and we're excited to be working with you.
Thank you. I as well. Thank you.
Was there anything that you wanted to maybe say at this point?
Dr. Brown, would you like to use the microphone?
You get a microphone either.
I didn't prepare a speech. I just want to say thank you so much for welcoming me into the Fullerton School District family. I feel so welcomed already. This has been a blessing to be a part of this process and just be welcomed into Fullerton. I couldn't have met a nicer group of people already. And so I'm just really excited to be a part of the team. 23-year career in Los Angeles Unified, so it's bittersweet for me to leave, but I'm so excited to be a part of something new. My family and I just moved to Orange County a year ago, so I'm so looking forward to this commute. And yeah, I'm excited to learn from all of you and work with you, and I can't wait for my first day, first official day. So thank you, board members, thank you, superintendent.
Thank you again. Welcome.
I was just going to say a few words. So when we do the reference checks, it's always great to hear, and we try to do different folks. So like including her assistant, her bosses, colleagues, and not only was there just a lot of like care and affection and connection that they felt and talked about, but they also talked about that she was visionary, incredibly organized, someone that believed in equity and ensuring that this was a high value, somebody that just some other things. They said things like fun. And we did, so in cabinet, a lot of us like to cook. And so I said, how's your pancake flipping and carne asada? She said, carne asada's still got to work on, but pancake she's in. Some other fun things. She talked about being a sports fan. We like that too. That's pretty cool. She didn't say Chargers, so it's all right. We didn't hold it against her.
My husband has Chargers season tickets though.
But she.
I think we now know the key to this process.
She just as a side note, adding to our USC-UCLA rivalry, UCLA seems to have won in terms of our doctorate, and I believe her undergrad as well. So it'll be kind of a fun piece. I think what we heard in the reference checks is how much people cared about her and how they felt cared about them. And so that was a whole group of folks. And so we're really looking forward to having her here. And I think, I know we're really good about our kind of family feel and that sense of community and connection. I know you're going to feel it. And I know you'll be welcomed, and you're gonna love it here. And I think when people come to Fullerton, they really get to know and love this community, and they'll love you. So we're looking forward to having you here. Thanks.
All right, continuing with our reports this evening. Information from the Board of Trustees. I think we started on this side at the last meeting, so. Oh, Dr. Hammett, pardon me. Thank you, yes.
I move that we accept Dr. Brown as a new member for our community and our family and our schools, and she will give amazing leadership to our schools, hands-on and caring.
Thank you. So we have a motion to approve the appointment of the new Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services effective September 15th, 2023. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Outstanding. Any further discussion on this topic? Okay, seeing no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Great, the motion carries 5-0. Welcome.
Yay.
Thank you for the reminder. Trustee Hanchett, would you like to continue with your report?
Sure. I agree. It's been a great 2 days of school for those of us with kids, and just witnessing the joy of seeing the kids going back to school and the parents on campus. It's been so fun. And I want to thank all the teachers and staff and principals and leaders that have, even with the back to school TK orientation and ice cream socials and meet your teacher, I think all of that makes a big difference for helping kids feel welcome and loved when they step on campus. So thank you for all the work you've done. I wanted to share one of the highlights of my summer was our management retreat that we had an amazing chance to be together with all of our principals and leaders, managers throughout the district. I was just so impressed with our people and the deep connections and relationships that they built, and the fact that we prioritize from the top, building those relationships, deep kindness, laughter, and joy. And I think that it says so much about our community and our district that we prioritize that time and those resources to build those things. And that spills over into our teachers, the way we manage, the way we lead, the way our students see us, and the love, the joy, the kindness, the affection that they get through that. So I want to thank our leaders for putting the time and the effort to creating that and the space that they provided for that. And, you know, I've just been thinking about how powerful, you know, start of a school new year, you have an opportunity to think about the impact of education. And I'm just so grateful to be a part of Fullerton School District and this new year and the new start. Thinking about the power that education has to transform lives, to transform families, to transform communities, societies, to break cycles of dysfunction, of poverty, of an injustice. And I just want to I've really been thinking about that and the power of caring adults in children's lives and how it can transform the way they see themselves and the way they see the world. So I want to remind us all that we are world changers, and thank you for the work that you're doing. I'm excited for this year.
Nice.
That was great. Thank you. Trustee Sugarman?
No? Yippee! Our fences are in. Woo! Purchasing? Wow. Everybody has their books, their supplies, no complaints that I've heard of. Clerical? So many great, smooth registrations. Find us some more, okay? Benefits, really, we don't think about it sometimes, but they really connected with us to make sure everybody is signed up as they should be and understands the changes that have been made with benefits, and a special thank you for that. All of our staff, thank you. Thank you for all the extra hours. Thank you for all the extra work. Thank you for everything, so that when those children and parents walked in with great hope in their faces and their eyes this week, they felt it coming back from you. And that's what's so special. So welcome students, parents, families, community. Happy New Year. Tonight we welcome a new visionary assistant superintendent, Dr. Brown. We are so glad you are with us. I'd like tonight to shine a light on a new program in our school district. In collaboration, financial support from the Fullerton Education Foundation, the city support, the staff of Fullerton School District. Do we have a photo? Did you get my photos? Thank you. What you are seeing here looks like nothing, because it is not yet. It will soon be a tiny house. We will be building a tiny house at Nicholas Junior High, and that offers so much for our students to learn in a different way. Engineering, math of all types, writing, because you have to communicate, you have to read to make sure things are legal, and then the vision of building and all the different aspects of construction. We hope that this home will be done by the end of the school year. And you see that movable flatbed over there? It will go on top of that. It will then be moved over by Orangethorpe. We will have, wait a minute, Jeremy, you explain what we're doing.
All right, so we have a number of classes involved. Our teacher, Musio, over at Nicholas is doing an amazing job. He got a group together last year of 7th graders who are going to become 8th graders and started training them, and actually built a little shed next to it so they could start learning what it was like to build, what they need to do for all their angles and plumb lines and everything they needed to do. So Scott's been a great part of this. Thank you, Scott, for getting us that trailer from like Beaumont, right? Turns out trailers are also in scarce supply after COVID somehow. So like everything's missing. So we got the trailer, we're excited for that. Musio's class, we're also working with our yearbook class. They're going to be documenting the entire process for us. And then we're working with some classes over at Parks in their Pathfinder class. The kids who are interested in pre-law, they're going to be doing a potential city council presentation to talk to the city about their need to support tiny homes to help solve the homeless problems here in Fullerton and how they might want to consider new laws around rezoning and redistricting. So we're working with a number of different groups of students around the district. And then we have a piece of property right behind Orangethorpe that currently has our scout hut on it, and we received, I believe it was a grant from Supervisor Chafee from his office to refurbish, but to also add to that area. So we're going to be pouring a new cement pad with utilities, and it'll be a spot where we could place at least one, maybe 2 or 3 tiny homes, and then sharing that sort of outdoor area with the scout hut while we also refurbish the scout hut, give it a new kitchen, new bathroom, and make it a little bit more community friendly right there in that area. So we're excited for 4 classes a day plus an after school class. We've been working with the Carpenters Union, and they have some members who need volunteer hours. They're going to be coming out and talking and working with our students as well to make sure that the structure will stay up. And then we're working with Helene's department, and Helene is working to try and help us figure out a family. One of our McKinney-Vento families that could benefit from staying short-term in that home, maybe like a 6-month stay as they gather up enough money for more permanent housing, and how that would work, how we would select that family as well. And then we'll be working with both Pathways of Hope and the Hope Center to do case management. So they have contracts in place and some different things we can do to make sure we're doing this all correctly. And then we have 2 different individuals who are offering case management services for us, so they can help the family and help make sure that that family is successful once they've been placed. So so it is a big project.
Pretty awesome.
We're on our way.
And I want those who are listening to be totally aware that no money is being spent by the school district. The Education Foundation has provided the money for buying what you've seen in front of you, and you need to know that because it would be inappropriate for the district to pay for those things. And so we want to make sure that no one has questions about propriety. And this is very exciting.
The Phelps Foundation
The Phelps Foundation has been very generous, and we're very excited about the whole thing. Second of all, before I go to my next thing, I do want to take a moment to express from this entire board how sorry we are to Dr. Copeland for the loss of his mother. This was Friday night, and we are so sad for their family, and we are offering them hope and prayers and love. I have something now I'd like to tell. I'm going to talk specifically to teachers of the Fullerton School District. So teachers, if you're listening in, principals, if you're listening in, listen up. The Fullerton Education Foundation, starting tomorrow, 3 o'clock, will be offering Partners in Education grants. This is a brand new program for the foundation, so let me tell you how it works. It's the easiest way to double support for classroom teachers. Active Fullerton School District teachers are all eligible. Let me repeat that. All teachers are eligible for this money. You submit your application between August 16th and September 15th. We have put aside from the foundation $10,000 to support classroom teacher grants. The money is exclusively to cover projects during this school year, so something you want to complete during this school year. For each dollar you raise, the Education Foundation will provide an equal match. Okay? You raise $1, we give you $1, up to what you requested, and the maximum grants will be $500. Okay? $500, which will turn into $1,000 because it's a 1-to-1 match. Now, if you raise if you get the $500, and then you get more people to donate to your cause, 100% goes to you, okay? So we match your first amount that you ask the grant for, double your money, and anything you raise for your classroom over that, it must come through the Ed Foundation, will go 100% to you. Okay? Sounds like a great thing, right? And the last thing I want to tell you is you might want to know what type of things can this money go for. Probably anything, but I have some suggestions. Field trips, manipulatives, books, supplies, any of those types of things. And you can spread the word when people come for parent conferences. And for PTA people who might be listening in, you can spread the word at back to school nights. And any way that people donate to a classroom teacher toward a grant, the person who donates gets an automatic thank you in a 501c3 letter, and you get the money. So I think that's a super exciting way to raise money for your classrooms for this coming year for special projects. Last but not least, I want everyone to know, are you ready? October 21st, it's coming, Toast to Learning. We are so excited. Today I spoke with the White House restaurant. We're in for food. The event will be held at the Charleston Ballroom. A lot of surprises are planned. We're working with several schools, not the least of which is Ladera Vista, and Dr. Lynch, who is just an all-star helper, and Golden Hill, and Commonwealth. So we are moving ahead with all sorts of surprises for you. Mark your calendar. And for those of you who have the ability to give us donations, yes, we want them, just in case you were wondering. And that's my report for tonight. Have a wonderful school year.
Thank you. Trustee Berryman?
I feel really inferior.
No,
I have no money, teachers. Sorry. I will give you a high five, fist bump, a half hug. It takes, okay.
Half a cookie?
Well, maybe. I do protect my cookies. So thank you, Hilda. Great things going on with the Educational Foundation. I think I'm so excited about the tiny homes. We just talked about it. I attended a Fullerton Collaborative board meeting today, and one of the discussion items was our tiny home, and being able to share that with the community is going to be humongous, right? It's going to be great. I think people are going to see us as being able to, we are visionary. We look at something and it's providing our students with that real world opportunity. It's bringing our community together to serve our own families. And so I think that the whole concept is mind-blowing to me, to think that we are able to do this. And again, I remind our community that not every district out there does this stuff. That, when you say this, people look at us like we're crazy when we talk to other board members and other parents and all the communities. So thank you, Jeremy, thank your team, thank everybody that's collaborating on this, from the Hope Center, our classroom teachers, to the collaboration between Nicholas and Parks. I think bringing all of our students in on this, because it's going to really, it's going to hit their heart, right? It's going to be something that they're going to remember forever. This is one thing that, they're not going to forget, that what I learned in junior high school. They're going to remember this. So thank you so much for this. I did want to announce and just remind all of our staff at all of our school sites the National Giving Alliance, and the fact that if we do have families in need, the Giving Alliance is out there to help our families with one outfit to wash and one outfit to wear. I know that all of our social service associates at each one of our schools knows about this, but just wanted to give a shout out to remember that. They will be having their fall mixer coming up, and everyone will be invited to that in October.
But in case somebody doesn't know what that group is, some of us remember it as the Needlework Guild.
Yeah, NGA. So it's NGA, National Giving Alliance. All of our students all of our families are eligible to receive 2 outfits or linens if we have a family in need. So the whole family can get something, 1 student, shoes, and 2 outfits, and jackets in some instances, and linens. So it's an organization that's been in Fullerton for over 60 years. I was going to say some of the people have been there the whole time. So there's a lot of tradition. Now, I feel like I have been there for 60 years, but there's a lot of tradition in that group. So thank you. Just know that that's out there. I also wanted to comment on the fact that our retreat, our managers' gathering this year was very close to my heart as well. We look at the world in which it is right now, and we're always, everyone's in a rush and everyone's in a hurry. And I think after COVID, people stopped talking with each other. People stopped being nice to each other. People stopped being respectful to one another and accepting. And for our district to take a look at that and to really stand back and say, we need to spend that time to be kind to one another and to spend a day and a half talking about how we as a district can make changes, because kindness isn't always easy. And I think that was, something really hard for people to understand, is that, you can be superficially kind, but it's that deep kindness, it's that consistency, it's that spirit that really is important. And our children, our students, our families are going through a lot. Lots of families are, and you might not see it, and you don't know what happened to that student or to that family the day before. But really providing our families and our staff and each other with that kindness. So part of the meeting, we actually got our own book about deep kindness. And I was going to read a whole paragraph in there, but I won't, because I think that you guys got the gist of just the fact that kindness doesn't come easy, and it's something that takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. So I challenge every one of us to be kinder, to give grace, and to embrace this concept. So thank you very much. I believe that's it. I have no money. Sorry.
Thank you, Trustee Talavera.
I'm very positive, though.
You have no money, but you're kind.
I'm kind.
I'll take that. Yeah, I also have no money. I do have kindness to give and share. And most definitely for M&O team, Scott and your team doing an amazing job over the summer again, getting schools ready. I think that's one of the key things for me, is making sure that our schools are looking very welcoming for our students coming back. Students, teachers, admin, everyone really. To me, that's a big, huge thing, is for the kids to feel like they're at their second home. All right, that they're at their second home, that they feel safe, that they feel welcome, and they feel like they can express themselves and do amazing and innovative things at our school sites, and amazing barbecuing. So, Dr. Brown, if your carne asada grilling skills ain't to par, talk to Scott. Scott's carne asada grilling skills are up to par. But definitely, talking to his staff and his amazing leaders out there, again, knowing that, their work is not forgotten or not seen. We thanked them with the barbecue on last Friday as well too. So I attended that, stopped by for a little bit, because again, that's really near and dear to me for that. But then I also stopped by at Nicholas with Rosanna and your team. I know Jackie, is Jackie not here? No, she's not here, right? Jackie, yeah. So the community fair, and then I also got wind that our own trustee was kind of the one that kind of sparked this idea as well too. So I definitely want to publicly thank you, Trustee Thakur, on getting that coordination going from a friend, a fellow Fullertonian, right? fellow Fullertonian that works at the county, and stopped by. Amazing. I heard there was just tons of people waiting before even the event started. Lines were rolling out to Euclid from Nicholas, so if you guys can just imagine how many people were there. But it looks like they served about over 300 people or so. I don't know if you guys have gotten the final numbers. Oh, okay. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Didn't want to be, don't want to steal that thunder, but I definitely wanted to thank you and your team, and I'm sure Helene, you played a huge part in that, in the coordination of it. But that was, again, one of those key things where community kind of comes together and seeing those opportunities, and how us as a district can kind of just play a slight role in that, right? It just being a facility, a place where the community can come gather and we can bring those resources and be able to share with others. So again, just amazing, again, before school starts. And then nonetheless, seeing all the posts of all the schools for the first day of school. So I want to congratulate all the principals, teachers, staff on a wonderful first day of school yesterday. I know my kid was super excited to go to school. I don't know if it was because he wanted to get out of the house or he actually wanted to see his friends and, teacher and things like that. But just wanted to congratulate everyone on getting us to today. And then again, making sure that we don't forget about being kind. I think that does kind of play a burden on us, is because it does take some time and energy and effort to really have that deep, sincere kindness to one another, because we're just always on the go. So just wanted to end with that. Yeah, thank you.
That's wonderful. I don't want to really repeat anything. These are just such beautiful sentiments. I love serving with my fellow trustees. It's just amazing to get to see this district from the student's perspective, as I was, and a parent and a trustee. And I think on behalf of all parents, I'm just going to say how nice it is to have the kids out of the house. Again, honestly. Kids are so happy to be back in school. Throughout the course of being on this board, I've come across other students from the Fullerton School District that have come back, and they're parents now, or they are working at the Orange County Social Services Agency, like James Cho, who came back to Fullerton and just over coffee, hey, can the district maybe work with our organization? Maybe we can help some families. I know we're going to hear more about that, but just I'm always surprised, or I'm always amazed but never surprised when I find out that somebody amazing grew up in this district or as a product of this district. So I'm very excited about this school year and tonight's meeting. So Anna, do we have any information from DLAC tonight?
Can I add something, President?
Please.
I'm not used to doing slideshows, but I really thought that for those people that weren't part of the first part of school, one, look at this. North Orange County. But we got some pictures that highlighted our first day of school, and I just thought it would be kind of fun to put them up so that everyone can see them. So Anna, would you show us just some pictures of the first day of school, all of our exciting bubble people, from 8th grade to TK to all of our schools. Look at that, right? Gotta remember what it's all about. I love the new sign there. Little guys. Okay. I think that's it. Is that it? That's it? Okay. All right. Thank you. I just thought it'd be nice to show some of our pictures from our first day.
Yeah, Reader's Choice. I think we've won this award like 10 years in a row.
The best Orange County School District by those that live here and go here.
Let's say it again, Trustee Berryman. DLAC, please.
Good evening. Good evening, President Kaur, school board members, Superintendent Dr. Pletka, Executive Cabinet, and families that are here and listening. Our DLAC committee would like to welcome everyone back to the 2023-2024 school year. We are grateful to the district staff for their curricular planning, the principals for their leadership, and our excellent teachers for welcoming our new students. I know my two daughters were very excited as well. I don't know if it was to get out of the house, like you said, or just, because they missed their friends, but they were very happy. We want to thank the school, the Nicholas Community Center, for their support in providing a location and set up for the Resource Fair Drive at Nicholas Junior High this past week in collaboration with the Orange County Social Services Agency. We were able to provide food for a lot of families, so we are very thankful, and we just want everybody to know that we are in this together if anybody needs any support. Also, DLAC would like to give a warm welcome to Dr. Brown, new Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services, and Ms. Ruth Gayer. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Okay. I always have a hard time with last names. Program Specialist of Educational Services. We really look forward to working together. And just want to remind everybody that our first DLAC meeting is September 22nd at Maple Elementary from 9 to 11. So we really hope to see you all there. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Do we have a PTA report?
PTA report today.
CSEA?
Good evening, Dr. Pletka, President Decore, members of the board and cabinet. Marlene Acosta speaking on behalf of CSEA. This summer, Sherry Williamson and myself attended the CSEA annual conference, which was held for the first time in Reno, Nevada. One of our keynote speakers was Chris Smalls, the president and founder of the Amazon Labor Union. He was inspired to form a union after seeing how no safety procedures were put in place to protect workers deemed essential from COVID, including basic mask precautions. A dynamic individual, Chris, a busy single father to twins, got involved because he wanted to do the right thing for himself and his fellow workers. He had learned firsthand from his mother, an employee of Mount Sinai Hospital, about just how deadly COVID was, displayed in the number of 18-wheelers serving as makeshift morgues that his mother saw daily on a daily basis. At conference, several training opportunities were offered, including active shooter training. This training focused on early warning signs that could lead to violence later, such as the making of erratic statements or creation of disturbing drawings. As active shootings continue to rise, being vigilant is one of our strongest defenses. As unnerving as it is to participate in these trainings, I believe in being informed rather than being in fear, and always gain a new perspective. At the conclusion of our 5-day annual conference, Sherry and I stayed on in Reno for another 2 days to participate in the first ever CSA Women's Conference. We were selected via lottery to be one of 150 representatives from throughout the state. The trainings offered focused on such topics such as work, life, union balance, interviewing skills, and money management. The small group setting facilitated collaboration and networking among all attendees. As the new school year begins, I'd like to thank all of our school site staff, M&O, and IIS teams that work to get schools ready for the return to classes. And I'd also like to welcome Dr. Brown to Fullerton School District on behalf of CSEA Chapter 130 and all of the classified employees we represent. Thank you.
Thank you so much. FETA?
I'll take the money, the kindness, the sleep, and I'm going to cover my face with this because it's tired. But while I was sitting there, I minimalized the letters, so now I have to squint. Good evening, President Thakor, board members, Dr. Pletka, cabinet and guests, and welcome Dr. Brown. We're looking forward to working with you this year with FETA. Welcome to our returning staff and a special shout out to the new teachers, nurses, and counselors who have joined our FSD family. FETA is looking forward to continuing our dialogue through the PAL process with district staff and board members. Some of the goals that were prioritized in our executive board retreat include equity with instructional minutes across school sites, support with safety and behaviors in the classroom, problem solving for new situations that arise during the year, and getting some time with our board members. So we're looking forward to a great year. Thank you.
Thank you very much. FSMA.
President Thakor, cabinet members, Dr. Bob, board members. My name is Mike McAdam. I'm the Director of Purchasing of Contracts, Purchasing, and many other things here. On behalf of FSMA, Dr. Brown, we welcome you. And all FSD departments have been working hard over the summer to create a unique experience for our students, families, community, staff starting day one and each day after that. Purchasing department getting all the orders done so returning staff can have everything in hand day one, conquering year-end closing as well with a brand new staff. Warehouse delivering packages coming in, helping teachers move as well as maintenance, surplusing and delivering books as needed. Print shop designing, working on banners, yard signs, workbooks, calendars. Transportation, getting prepared to greet the students for the very first time, welcoming them to the Fullerton School District on our school buses. Dispatch, preparing safe routes for our drivers and students. M&O, making sure every school is clean, safe, and ready to go. Payroll, most important, making sure we have money in our pockets. IIS, iPads, new phones, security cameras, and so much more. Student Support Services held a hugely successful ESY and has been busy interviewing and staff both classified and certificated positions to support our sites. Ed Services ready to teach, support, impact every student coming into the classroom. HR hiring, professional development, and so much more. Food service preparing to have great food ready day one. With all of that, we come together as one, making sure day one of school for our students is exciting, positive, and will continue to be throughout the school year. We are the Fullerton School District, moving mountains, making dreams happen, and supporting one another. Thank you.
That was great. Thank you. I believe we have a presentation this evening that I'm really looking forward to.
Good evening, President Thakor, school board members, Superintendent Dr. Pletka, Executive Cabinet, and all attending and listening families. We would like to welcome Dr. Brown to the Fullerton family. We look forward to working alongside you to support our families and students. This evening, we will be highlighting our efforts to support families who are currently experiencing homelessness. I would like to introduce the team that leads the work in supporting families experiencing housing insecurities. My name is Rosanna Fonseca. I am Director of Social Emotional Learning and Family Supports.
Good evening, I'm Helene Morris, the Director of Administrative Services.
Hi, good evening. My name is Paola Gomez, and I am the McKinney-Vento Liaison here at the district.
I want you to consider, imagine a student who grew up in one of the most dangerous, experiencing adverse childhood experiences such as violence, discrimination, and substandard schooling. Given this background, what type of future do you imagine such a child would have? What level of education would they attain? what career opportunities would be available to them. This story is not just an imagined scenario. This is the story of Carlos Perez. I know this story is true because Carlos Perez is my husband. Despite facing numerous difficulties and adversities as a child, he overcame them and achieved remarkable success. He holds a PhD from Chapman University, and his master's degree is from Harvard University. While it's true that adverse experiences he faced as a child may have had negative impacts, it's important also to acknowledge the support, acceptance, and meaningful relationships that made a significant difference in his life. So how does this connect with the lives of our McKinney-Vento students or students experiencing homelessness? Carlos Perez's story exemplifies the transformative power of positive experiences and support. By recognizing the strengths and assets of students experiencing homelessness, providing opportunities for positive experiences, and addressing their needs, and fostering a sense of belonging, we can empower students to reach their full potential. Our goal is to break down barriers and unleash the untapped potential in every student, regardless of their housing situation. Tonight, we will cover supports and resources available within Fullerton School District, our identification process, professional development provided to staff, community partnerships, and one more thing, which will be a surprise for you at the end. During the 22-23 school year, the Fullerton School District was selected by the California Department of Education to participate in the federal program monitoring for homeless education. FSD was found not only to be fully compliant in all aspects of the program, but was commended as an exemplary program by the California Department of Education. The evaluator even expressed interest in using FSD's documents and practices as the model for other districts across the state. This recognition reflects FSD's commitment to providing quality education and support for students experiencing homelessness. Our school district is dedicated to providing comprehensive supports and resources to our families. I'd like to introduce Paola Gomez. She is our McKinney-Vento liaison in the Fullerton School District. With over 4 years of experience at Pathways of Hope and Mercy House, Paola possesses a deep understanding of connecting families with necessary resources and supports. In her role as a child welfare and attendance community liaison, Paola serves as a crucial link between families and community agencies, ensuring easy access to services they need. She also supports our social services assistants at our school sites, fostering a collaborative approach. Paola's unwavering dedication, compassion, and extensive experience make her a crucial asset to us. Our dedicated team of social services assistants and community liaisons play a crucial role in identifying, supporting, and providing essential resources for our McKinney-Vento families. With their training and unwavering commitment, they continuously strive to find creative and innovative solutions to address the unique challenges faced by the families they serve. Their passion and dedication make an invaluable contribution, ensuring that our families experiencing homelessness receive the utmost care and support they deserve. Our commitment to supporting families experiencing homelessness includes facilitating transportation to and from their school of origin. Through collaboration with community agencies and our dedicated transportation department led by JD, we ensure that students have access to their essential services, promoting school stability and equal educational opportunities for all. In FSD, all students receive free breakfast and lunch, including during the summer. Additionally, we partner with the Fullerton Education Foundation, who received a generous grant for additional snacks for families experiencing homelessness. We are proud to offer 5 food pantries in FSD, providing students and their families with access to essential food and resources. These pantries play a vital role in ensuring that no family goes hungry. We are proud to have a community schools program in our district. The services that this grant is able to provide go beyond the traditional classroom setting and embrace a holistic approach to education. From medical and well-being services to parent engagement programs, mental health resources, the district strives to provide comprehensive supports for our students. Additionally, academic supports programs, family wraparound outreach, and community feeding programs further contribute to creating a nurturing and inclusive educational environment for our students and families in FSD.
All right, and now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how we identify our students who meet the McKinney-Vento criteria. Okay, we'll talk about 3 ways. The first way is through our annual information review. So that's a housing questionnaire that is completed through AIR, and families self-identify based on their living situation. In addition to that, we also have designated staff. We have 19 staff members that are focusing on supporting students experiencing homelessness in the district by ensuring that those students are correctly identified. And I want to point out that that's 19 designated staff for that. And then we also have staff identification. So all FSD staff that interact with students and families are trained to look for risk factors that indicate a family may be experiencing homelessness. And then what are some of the needs that we identify with our students? Well, we work first to identify what are some of those basic needs that we have. And, those could be food, those could be clothing. Obviously, shelter is a big issue. So we work with our social services and community liaisons to do that outreach. In fact, we personally call every single McKinney-Vento family at the beginning of the school year to connect them and meet their liaison and connect with the resources that they need and to assess their needs. And that relationship is not just at the beginning of the year, it continues throughout the year. We also look at the SEL, or the social emotional learning needs. You're already familiar with many of the things we do in that arena, and we've shared with our board as well. But just to highlight a few of those pieces, we have the SRSSIE, which is the Student Risk Screening Scale for internalizing and externalizing behaviors, which is a Likert type scale that the teachers use, which is research-based. We also use the Rethink Ed survey, which is a student self-reporting tool. And that's something that we first implemented last year and that we're continuing and building on that work this year. We look at teacher input. Our teachers are so valuable. They are with our students every single day. And so getting their input, their feedback, they're the ones that are going to notice a student is coming to the school in the same clothes every day or is feeling tired. And so digging deeper into what might be going on with that student. And then, of course, input from the family and families expressing their needs. And then, of course, there's that academic piece, which is so critical, and that's based on classroom performance, Illuminate data reports, iReady data progress, and so many more indicators as well. And then we'll talk a little bit about professional development so that we provide to staff so that they can identify students who are experiencing homelessness so that we can pair those students with resources. So we have annual training for all management. We have training for our principals, assistant principals, and they bring that to their school site staff. We also have school office staff training. We have training for our social services assistants. And then for those social services assistants and community liaisons, we have ongoing monthly meetings. We have a robust folder filled with all kinds of resources, a variety of community partnerships that Paola will be highlighting. And then just to give you a little flavor of some of our professional development topics, they range from defining homelessness and legal obligations to understanding causes and impact of homelessness on students, rights for students experiencing homelessness, such as immediate enrollment until we get records and things like that, determining eligibility under the McKinney-Vento law, logistics, so how do we even just do the simple things like code and report in PowerSchool and in AIR so that we have that for our CalPADS data, and then access to resources and tools. And then we work closely with the County Department of Education and just having literature up and about. You'll see posters in our schools. So look for this one. I kind of challenge everybody when you're going to our schools, you should see this poster up about enrollment in school. You should see it in English, you should see it in Spanish, and see it in Korean, our three predominant languages in our district. So I presented a little bit of our kind of technical aspects. So now we're going to get into some of the more fun, and Paula is going to talk to you about our community partnerships.
Hello. So we wouldn't be able to do as amazing as our district is with being able to provide our families with resources and services. None of this work would be able to be accomplished without our community partnerships. So I'm going to discuss the importance of our partnerships and some of the partnerships that we have throughout the community. So at our annual Champions for Children conference on November 5th, we were honored to have more than 30 community partners in attendance. Many presenters shared valuable resources and information with our FSD families, and their participation in this yearly event is a testament to the strong partnerships we have formed with members of our community. One area I would like to bring attention to is food resources. So we collaborate with more than 12 community organizations to assist those who require support. The help we receive from these organizations is vital and important, and it benefits our families that are in need. Our partners go the extra mile by providing targeted and detailed assistance. For instance, Patty's Cakes and Desserts gives a special cupcake to every student who is a McKinney-Vento student who's experiencing homelessness on their birthday to make them feel valued and remembered on their special day. So regarding matters concerning housing insecurity and support, we work with numerous partners and agencies to ensure families receive the necessary assistance they require. We strive to collaborate with as many organizations as possible to provide aid to those in need. So we truly appreciate our community partners for their immeasurable support in helping us provide a wide range of resources to those in need. So some of the resources that are included are tutoring, childcare, clothing, medical, dental, vision services, mental health supports, employment assistance, immigration, and legal resources. Although we have listed some of our community partners, there are many more that we work with, and we are grateful for all of their partnerships. We are genuinely appreciative of the involvement of numerous community partners, and we are proud to have members of our team serving on some of these organizations' boards. So Pathways of Hope
my name is James. I'm the Community Programs Manager for Pathways.
Okay, sorry. So Pathways of Hope is a longtime community partner. They focus on providing food, shelter, housing, and those experiencing hunger and homelessness. And as Rosanna mentioned, I used to work with Pathways of Hope, so this one is a little special for me. So we have a video, a little short clip with James Kennedy, who is their program coordinator for their hub.
My name is James. I'm the Community Programs Manager for Pathways of Hope. Here at Pathways of Hope, we are a family access point, supporting families in connecting to shelter and other permanent housing opportunities. We also provide diversion services to divert them from their homeless episode, and then prevention, where we provide rental assistance when the funds are available, and then overall community linkages to whichever resource best meets their need. And we're also gearing up for our annual holiday community program. We're really excited for our continued partnership with Fullerton School District and to be able to provide these families with toys, food, and a clothing voucher to our partners at Assistance League. Hello, my name
So one of the many bright spots in this work, for example, was the Back to School event hosted last week on August 8th. This event was organized by the district in partnership with the Orange County Social Service Agency, and it was a huge success. We had over 700 attendees from all over the district, including sites as far away as Acacia and Commonwealth. At the end of the event, a family from Laguna Road expressed their gratitude for the invitation and support provided. This shows that every school has the potential to have families in need of our support. Families received necessary items like school supplies, food, toys, clothing, shoes, socks, and hygiene. The event also gave families the opportunity to apply and to re-enroll for county-based programs such as CalWorks, Medi-Cal, and CalFresh. And this ensures that they have access to essential resources that they need. This initiative highlights the district's commitment to supporting. I'm sorry. So this event just shows how we were able to collaborate with the Social Service Agency, and we are looking forward to having them at Champions for Children on November 4th.
So as Paola mentioned, we are hoping to replicate this in a bigger scale at our Champions for Children conference this year to bring our families in and really, really just give the family the resources that they need. So one more thing.
Let me put a quick plug in. Last year we had 700 parents attend our Champions for Conference. And so we're hoping to even make it bigger this next year, and we will even have more services that we can provide. And so again, big shout out. Please, we'd love to see you all there.
Absolutely. So one more thing.
Everybody say that we gotta get some energy in this.
All right.
One more thing.
Oh, one more thing.
So exciting.
Okay. One more thing. So, ready? Introducing The Hub, a new resource center located at Valencia Park that aims to provide a variety of essential items, including clothing, hygiene products, and school supplies to families in need. In addition to these supplies, the Hub will also offer access to community programs and resources, ensuring that families have the support they require. Furthermore, all services and resources to the Hub will be completely free of charge for families in the Fullerton School District. This initiative is expected to have a positive impact on those in need and foster a strong sense of community support. The grand opening event is planned for late October, and further details will be shared once the date is confirmed. But we look forward to welcoming everyone to the Hub to continue to support our families in Fullerton.
I just want to say thank you very much from the bottom of my heart to Rosana, to Paola and Juan for their innovative and creative ways to bring additional resources to not just VP, but to the entire FSD community. They went out and put together a wonderful hub for the entire district to use, and it's set up in like a boutique type mode that allows for everyone to come in dignified fashion to get additional resources and shop for hygiene products, for backpacks and school supplies, for clothing, and just get it for free so they can enjoy it and be able to provide for their families. So big kudos and congratulations and thank yous from all of us here at VP to the team that put this together for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'll finish with this. This is from our social services assistant that works at Valencia Park. She said, "I'm so happy and excited to have this hub at Valencia Park. As a former single mom with daughters who attended this school, I understand how important it is to have resources and support. Now that I work here, I am proud to give our families the help that I once needed. The hub is going to make a big difference in their lives, just like it would have for me." And thank you, and we'll take any questions.
That's so wonderful and exciting. Thank you. Any questions or comments from the board?
I have a couple. Thank you for this wonderful presentation.
it comes at the right time to introduce this and to remind all of our schools and our community that we do have students that are in great need, and we're there to help that. For the hub, so exciting, is that operated by our district? And would you be needing volunteers to help out with that? How does that work?
So it's kind of our brainchild, and we are working. We will have our social services assistants working out of there and making appointments with families. So we do not need any volunteers, but we will send it out. But we are looking for donations for we were able to repurpose our lost and founds.
Yeah.
all over the district.
That was my next question.
So we were able to repurpose them, and we partnered with Suds and their laundry, and they're washing our clothes for us and folding them and getting them ready. But there are not that many lost and found pants. So
you might need some pants.
Yes. So
That's
shoes.
probably a good thing.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So pants and shoes and. And the fantastic thing with the funds that we're able to provide, we can provide for families, so for women, so the parents, because if a parent is ill, they might not be able to get their child to school. So we have, we're not just looking for children's clothes, but for mothers and fathers and babies and toys, anything that we definitely will take.
Oh no. Do you have storage for all that?
Well,
be careful what you wish for.
Guillermo is fantastic. He gave us an entire, I was going to say bungalow, but I don't think that's the right phrase anymore. Portable that to house it, and he is going to share another portable for a warehouse.
Perfect. All right, so you heard that here. What do we need? Pants and anything else?
Yes.
Shoes.
Yes. And we're going to put it in the SEL newsletter to go out.
Toiletries.
Thank you.
Not used toiletries, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments from the board?
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Proud of your creativity and your ability to put into action your vision. And there's no question, many students need this, but definitely Valencia Park, and it's awesome that you're doing this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm so excited too. I was thinking about even our sixth graders every time they go to camp, to have coats and boots and jackets, and that's a great thing for a lot of kids, even if it's a temporary borrow too, right? I love that we'll have that. I had a couple questions. I was wondering about, you said we have 5 food banks, and I've seen the benefits at schools that my kids go to. Is there a reason why we don't have more? How have the decisions been made to have only 5, and are we hoping to expand that?
Typically it is decided school by school, but I know that with the communities grant, Jackie, who's a gem, is also working with that group to look at possibly expanding those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do families have the option, if they don't currently have it at their home school, to go to a different school?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So throughout the district, there's also, I don't know if you know, there's a dolphin market next door, and they can go and make an appointment and kind of grocery shopping once a week or twice a week for that as well.
Great to know.
So yeah, so there are so these 5 pantries are not school specific.
Great.
So it's through Second Harvest. It's through Second Harvest, and they provide for all families.
Okay.
And if I may even add to that, you don't even have to be a student or a parent in the district. Our pantries are available to anyone in the community that has need.
I love that. Thank you. That's great to know. We'll want to make sure that information is shared widely. The other question I had is, obviously, one of the things I love about Fullerton is our incredible non-governmental organizations, faith-based organizations, community organizations that we partner with, and that fill the gaps that public, entities can't, right? So I love seeing the partnerships. That's incredible. I'm curious, for those who are part of the community that maybe want to serve in that way or interested in becoming a recognized partner for Fullerton School District, how do they go about that process? What would an MOU look like to join this amazing work that we're doing?
Yeah, It depends on the type of work that that is being done. For example, the school pantry program at Valencia Park, when it was started there, I was the principal there, and we did go through a formalized process of an MOU, and that went to board. Some of our other partnerships, where we partner with, Pathways of Hope. That isn't an organization coming to a school to run a program. That's us basically liaisoning and outsourcing and connecting. So it would depend on the type of partnership. If they're going to be on site, if they're going to be functioning in on the school side and running operations there, then that would go through a formalized process. But many of our partners are just out there in the community and they're existing, and it's for us to tap into those resources that they have.
So if we haven't made that connection, Paola's maybe the first
Oh
person
yes,
to talk
and
to.
then Paola is that great connection, and then what she does is every month when we have our social services assistants meetings, like you saw James from Pathways of Hope, and he talked already about. I know everybody's talking about holiday time, and school year has just started. It's August, right? But it's a big effort to get all of the holidays and the toys and things like that for the students. So he'll come out and meet with our social services assistants and go through that process directly and explicitly about how to refer families.
Great, thanks.
Outstanding. Please.
No worries. So question on how we identify our McKinney-Vento students through the AIR survey or the questionnaires that are generated through there. Is there a way to also identify students that are living in or that are potentially or could become potentially McKinney-Vento students that might be living in substandard living conditions that are our students, and how do we kind of work on some of that prevention aspect with some of the resources that we have to prevent students becoming McKinney-Vento students or homeless?
So I would say there's a couple things. So with the AIR, as Helene mentioned, the AIR process is kind of the initial at the beginning of the year. But students who experience homelessness might experience homelessness at different times of the year. So we work. So I think that's a big part of our kind of educating and professional development is making sure that our teachers, our staff, the person that works in nutrition services, the bus driver, notices what are the risk factors, or I've noticed that the student is coming out of a garage every day. Those are really important factors. Additionally, with our social services assistants, one of the things that we're doing is making sure that they are reaching out. They are having these conversations. And I think one of the things that I really wanted to do with the hub is that the hub is available to all of our families in need. And so we want to make sure to be able, if there's a family that has a need but hasn't been identified as McKinney-Vento, we can, when we do a tour of the hub, you'll see there's this area, there's this reception area that has a couch and some tables and a plant and some lamps where families can open up. And they can have a conversation with that social services assistant about their living situation. And so we want to make sure we provide those one-on-one opportunities for families that maybe aren't comfortable in other settings to be vulnerable and share their current situation.
I mean, I think that's super amazing to see, because that relational component is always key in order to kind of, for them to be able to open up. So yeah, thank you for that.
Questions or comments from the board? I look forward to finding out the opening day program for the hub. I can't wait to be there and to see it.
Just to say special thanks to Helene and her team, Rosanna, and now Paola, welcome. 7 years ago, Helene wasn't there. And while we've always had great people that have stepped up in the organization, and advocates, teacher advocates, Pamela, I think just last year, brought up a family and tried to help get people. I think we've always had that spirit here. We also have great nonprofits. The collaborative has always been such a big part of this. But I think 7 years ago, we didn't have that kind of central leadership to be able to coordinate services. And Helene came in and really has worked really hard
to provide an entire department and support to make it. And we were even little things like we used to have SSAs that were part-time at our Title I schools, and now we have full-time SSAs. Before, there were services that were out there, but now providing training, professional development to our principals all the time about these resources that are available. So I think providing that kind of professional lens to the work and services and coordinated efforts at a district level. And I would say 7 years ago, while we had great people doing great things, I don't think we had a great system for organizing it. And I think we've come a long ways because of some really good people that have helped led us, and then all the people in our community. We have a very, I said it to Dr. Brown, you're going to love this community. We have a very caring community, people that reach out all the time. And so it's not been hard to get people to donate. And I mean, even Councilman Ahmad, he hooked us up with a group that provides also freshly cooked hot meals to families. So it's like you see it all the time. We have just a great organization. But I want to give special thanks to Helene really providing that leadership, especially the last 7 years. And I think we've grown a lot. We still have a ways to go, and we'll continue to do it. But I want to take a moment to celebrate her.
Well, thank
and
you,
the
Dr.
good work.
Pletka. And to these ladies, we are so excited, and to Chad, who is the head of our department, we're just a pleasure, and we thank you for step up. We thank you for having us here tonight, and you will all be invited to the opening of the hub, and it is going to be a really special time.
Thank you so much. I'd like to recess for 5 minutes, and then we'll come back and continue the meeting. Thank you. Great. Any comments or discussion on this item? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Great. The motion carries 5-0. Thank you. We did make one minor edit to the agenda prior to this item, to Section 8. However, do I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
I make a motion to approve the amended agenda.
Thank you very much. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Outstanding. All those in favor say aye.
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 Is that a 5-0? Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve this evening's consent agenda?
I have a couple of comments and a question I want to ask before we do that.
Please do.
Okay, so first for consent item B, it's the consultant for the board protocol meeting that we'll have on October 3rd. Seeing as my first time ever, I was wondering in that, is it expected that we do something around a self-examination of board performance as required by our board protocols, which I was reading this last month after Anna gave them to us? Is that generally part of the agenda that the consultant does?
So in this case, just for those folks who didn't know, this is a continuation with the same consultant that was with us the first time. This is kind of part two. The first one was more kind of at a higher kind of I don't know, view perspective on board relations, and then specifically this will be there are protocols that have been agreed to by past boards, but this is each time boards get an opportunity to affirm those protocols that they find valuable, and this would be a time too that if that was something the board would be interested, we can do it at a future meeting, or those are the types of protocols though that we would just, as a board, you would reaffirm which of those things would you consider priorities, and when might you do that, and some of just the pragmatics of that. And that definitely would be a piece. We have done it in the past, and that would be something if the board is interested in doing it again. I think you would just have that sort of conversation. That's one good example of the sorts of things you would be discussing.
Okay. I think it's, I mean, I saw it in our protocols as something we should be doing, and I thought it was a great idea. So I can either add that as something at the end of tonight's discussion that I would put on a future agenda. We could put it on the agenda for October 3rd, or is that something, do we want to discuss it right now?
Can we discuss it right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think you could do it here at this point if you want to pull that item, and you could talk about could that item be added specifically to that, or if you'd want to parse out that item away from the board protocols one, then you could do it at the end of the meeting as a potential future either agenda item or an addition to a meeting. You can do it either way. If you want to do it, now, pull the item, then talk about the item, and then add it, or vote on this and then do it at the end. You have your choice of the two.
May I suggest? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
Can't we just tell the facilitator we want that to be part of the discussion?
That's what I would like.
Or I was thinking, this is merely the, I think, the cost of the facilitator.
It's
tonight.
protracted.
And at the end of the meeting,
for
maybe
future
you could add,
agenda items.
because we have the September 12th meeting between now and the
October
protocols
3rd.
meeting. So we might have the next meeting. Maybe you can call for direction from the superintendent, and then he and I can specifically add maybe items that you want discussed.
Okay, I can talk about it at the end of our meeting today. I just wanted to indicate that as something, this consent item brought up that discussion. So I can add it at the end of the night, and we can discuss if you have anything else to add to it further.
Outstanding. Anything else on tonight's consent agenda?
Well, I just wanted to point out to the community that we had three consent items, right? L, M, and N on grand jury reports that we responded. And I personally have already sent an email to our staff to thank them for the work that they did on that. We heard much of that work presented to us in the way that we are approaching our families and students experiencing homelessness. But the grand jury puts out these reports. They regularly study an issue and then make recommendations, and some of them are relevant to schools. And we had 3 in a row around educating students experiencing homelessness, addressing the fentanyl crisis, and safety in school shootings. And I was really proud that our staff are already above and beyond many of the recommendations that were made. We just heard an incredible, detailed presentation on how we're meeting the needs and seeking to serve our students experiencing homelessness. We already have training awareness, Narcan at every single school. We're addressing to address fentanyl. And with the school safety report, we had many of the recommendations that were made. We have fencing, we have cameras, we have training, we have parent engagement on safe storage of firearms. But more importantly, we're also creating a safe and welcoming environment and addressing the social emotional needs of our kids in our community and focusing on those best practices that are proven to make a difference. So I just want to say I'm proud to be a part of FSD. I'm grateful for the work that our staff are doing, but let's continue to be leading in the ways that we are addressing this, not just resting, but we tick the boxes, but we want to continue to be leaders in this work.
Just maybe one comment for background knowledge. The civil grand jury doesn't just select a particular district, it was selected all districts in Orange County. So we were one of many, and actually the topics that were chosen were similar to the topics that were chosen by the civil grand jury in San Diego County, and often actually in the case of homelessness, they also had all their schools also address that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Any other questions or comments on tonight's consent agenda?
I was going to comment on the same thing. I think that the work that goes into this and the information that's here is so valuable that I would love to spotlight that somewhere, because I think it does address a lot of what our community's concerns are, is what are you doing about it? And this is one place you can go and see exactly what we're doing about it. So I think that the information you have there. I did have one comment about the item L with our McKinney-Vento is, I don't think, and I could be wrong in this, I don't think there was any reference to us being part of or being chosen to participate in that federal program monitoring, and that we got such a great review and that they were looking at us for best practices. I don't think you put that in there. I think maybe the grand jury should know that too. So I just thought that was something great to add to that, maybe before you send it off. Just to say, this is what we're doing, because again, you're comparing all Orange County schools, and some schools are here and some schools are here, and so I think it is great, because we are the reader's choice of the best North Orange County school district. Oh, that wasn't in there, but truly, I think that adding that little piece in there too does put us ahead and shows them that we are taking this seriously, and that that it is something that we have been addressing and spending a lot of time and effort on. So.
Are these on the website, Dr. Hammett, Jeremy?
They're not approved yet.
They are not yet, but once the board has had an opportunity to approve them, they will be added to our website.
Okay. Well, then let's get to it. Any other questions or comments?
Well, of course, I want to have us look at our gifts. And we only have one gift tonight.
That's a little lonely gift, but it was a great gift. It was a great
gift. It is that someone remembered us during our break. We are very thankful. Look at that. Woodcrest from Shutterfly got a donation. Good for them. And thank you, Shutterfly. And we're so appreciative that we do not have a void. It is wonderful. So next month, many, please. Thank you.
I think the last one that we had was pretty remarkable.
500,000.
Right.
It made up. There are no other. I have two that I want to definitely highlight. And again, just to share with the public that the trustees do read even consent items that we're passing. But it's also amazing to see, especially early on in the school year, schools already, planning on going to the science camps. So as you've heard in the past, for me, myself, huge advocate for schools that attend science camp, and it's a big opportunity for kids to learn outside of the classroom itself, and then also the lunchtime soccer league programs as well too. that we're doing. Again, just getting our kids involved and engaged. Again, outside of the classroom, it's huge for me. It gets their minds thinking and going. A big sports guy, Dr. Brown, just so you know. I'm sure Jason will tell you as well. And then also a lot of the professional development as well too, which is huge. So just super excited to see a lot of that in the consent today.
I move that we accept the consent calendar.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 Great. The motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
It's the Dr. Hammett show.
Yeah.
Yes,
Dr.
the
Hammond.
moment you've been waiting for, the discussion action items.
And there's more.
And there's more. But wait, that's not all. All right, our first item this evening is item A. This is a renewal of a memorandum of understanding between FEDA, Fullerton Elementary Teachers Association, and FSD regarding independent study physical education. This is an MOU that allows students who are at the junior high level to take PE as an independent study program, especially for students who are participating in semi-professional or high levels of athletics, and it gives them time to be able to participate in those athletics instead of taking a PE class at the school.
Any questions or comments from the board?
Are we seeing an increase in number of students enrolling in this?
The number has been fairly consistent since we've had this MOU in place. We've had it in place now, this would be the 4th year, and it's been fairly consistent.
About how many students?
We average between 15 and 20 that participate, and a variety of sports from ice skating to soccer to golf, diving, yes. It's a definite variety of sports.
Independent mostly. As a mother of children who found this exceedingly important, I move that we accept A.
Second.
Great. Do we have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next item is the approval of the revised board policy 5145.12, search and seizure. We brought this item last time to the board as a discussion action item. There were comments from board members, and we made changes to this board policy, particularly adding the search and seizure of district-owned technology. We then took those suggestions, ran them through legal to ensure that we were compliant with education code and government codes, and this revised policy now includes those recommended changes.
Thank you, Dr. Hammond. Any questions or comments from the board on this item?
No, I appreciate you taking that and spending the time that we needed on it and getting it through the legal piece as well.
Thank you.
I would suggest that we maybe share it with CSBA, as it seems like the recommendations they gave to us for revising this policy didn't include discussion of electronic devices and electronic communication as well, and that's obviously a very important piece of 21st century education. So
yes, we'll pass that on to them as well.
Great.
I went over this with my 7th grader, and he found it erroneous and unnecessary, and so I knew that we had done a good job. All those in favor, if there's no further discussion? Or wait, do we have a motion? I'm sorry. Do we have a motion to approve?
I motion that we accept the revised approved or board policy 5145.12, search and seizure.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
All right. Item C is approve or ratify the renewed memorandum of understanding with the Fullerton Elementary Teachers Association regarding instructional assistance for TK, kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grades. This is a renewed memorandum of understanding. It's been in place now for 4 years regarding how we provide instructional assistance to support our primary grade students in our elementary schools.
Questions or comments from the board?
I move that we approve.
Can I ask a question? I want to clarify a little bit.
Let her do that first and second. Really, we should be first, second, and then conversation.
Put it out, yeah.
Got it.
I move that we approve or ratify the renewed memorandum of understanding for the Fullerton Employees Teachers Association regarding instructional assistance for TK, kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grades.
Do we
I'll
have a
second.
Thank you. Any discussion on this item? Questions or comments?
Yes, I know part of the memorandum of understanding was the idea that we wouldn't always be able to fulfill it if we weren't able to hire. So my question, first of all, is have we been able to hire the instructional aides that we need to meet these goals for this new school year?
Yes, with our general education, instructional assistants, we've been able to fill,
Okay.
yes.
So does that mean at every single TK, kinder, first and second, or combo class, we have an instructional aide for 3.75 hours?
Right, and that
more?
they're given to, the TK, we have a requirement under the law that they are provided for the entire length of the instructional day. We have a 12-to-1 requirement on the ratio, so they're in the TK classes. Kindergarten, they're there for 3.75 hours. And then when we get to first and second grade, those 3.75-hour instructional assistants are divided up so that they split their time amongst the classrooms for the first and second grade teachers.
So how many hours does each teacher or classroom get?
It will depend on the size of the school and the number of teachers, so it can vary from 30 minutes to 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how many teachers are in those schools.
So it's one per school?
For grades first and second, correct. Kindergarten,
Yes.
every teacher has one, correct.
First and second. Okay. And are those instructional aides able to apply for full-time hours if they wish? Or is that, because I'm thinking about a 3.75-hour day.
We have a number of positions which provide 6 or 6.5 hours. Generally, they're working with our students who are on IEPs or in special education programs, but there are other shifts or other positions they could apply for.
Turn
Correct.
into a full-time position. Okay.
Dr. Hammond, to that point, didn't we renegotiate with instructional aides some years back where it allowed them to enter a pool of applicants, or they were given some extra credit if they wanted to apply for full-time positions?
Yes, and we're always looking to move instructional assistants into positions that have more hours. Generally, those positions are in special education, but we're constantly looking to provide more hours in the special education area.
Great. Were you going to add something?
Yes, we're adding a job fair for special ed aides, and that's coming up, I believe, Paul, in September, where they'll be able to go interview, fingerprint, and get the job all on the same day.
One-stop shopping.
Right.
And any of our existing instructional assistants, general education, who would like more hours, they can apply at any time for those positions.
You can run, but you can't hide.
This really was a, but wait, there's more.
But more, yes.
Any other questions or comments from the board on this item? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor to approve, say aye.
Aye.
Great, the motion carries 5-0.
Our next item is item D, which is approve or ratify the renewed memorandum of understanding with the Fullerton Elementary Teachers Association regarding extracurricular stipends. We have a number of extracurricular activities that we provide here in the Fullerton School District. This is a renewal of the memorandum of understanding that provides for extra pay or stipends for teachers to do things like speech and debate, our FSD Fest, a variety of things, our after-school stage performing arts program to help pay teachers for their time and their efforts in helping our students have these great activities.
Thank you. Sometimes we do motions to approve, sometimes we do discussion first. Is there any discussion or motion on this item?
I move that we approve this item because it's so enriching for our children and it's awesome.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
It's a win-win.
I'll second.
Any discussion on this topic or questions or comments?
I also would say I love the programs that we have and the fact that teachers desire to spend that extra time with the kids and give them these opportunities. I have always been a bit curious, though, how decisions are made, especially at small schools when there aren't a lot of teachers and there's a lot of opportunities to do these additional adjunct duties. What does it feel like for teachers? Is there an expectation, or do they have completely free to say no if they don't want to be a part of this?
They are completely free to say no. One of the things that's very unique to Fullerton, though, is we have a lot of teachers who are willing to step up and help our students. And I was a teacher myself, and as a teacher, I did many, many things, from after-school programs to coaching sports to tutoring. And very often as a teacher, you know what the benefits are for the students, and though it's can have an impact on your after-school life and on your family, you also know what it means for our kids.
And just to recognize, I know our small schools, it is difficult and it is challenging, and sometimes, you know, there are all these things, and our teachers are very involved, very committed, want to do it, but they also want to spend time with their family. And so we recognize that it can be very challenging, and it is okay for teachers in our small schools or large schools or middle-sized schools, whatever, to say no, because that family part is really important. I think there is a little extra burden on our small schools on some of these things. So just wanted to acknowledge that.
Can we borrow teachers? Like if there's multiple teachers at one site that want to do these duties, could
Yes,
We bring in
absolutely,
people for
yes.
stage.
And we
That's
do.
what I was going to ask. Can you?
Stage comes, you know, with its own.
Sure, but like even with stage, there's usually a teacher on site that, and you know, some of them are absolutely, totally excited to be there and grateful for the additional pay for their family income. But I think, you know, I'm just curious if a small school is, or whatever size school, isn't able to find a speech and debate coach, could they borrow from another school that has plenty of willing folks?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah?
And we
Okay.
do. We look for that.
Great.
Especially you see other things like intramural sports, where you may not have someone willing at the junior high level to coach. We do recruit teachers from other schools to help.
That's
Do you ever have to do a lottery because there's more
Yeah.
than the people that want
That
it?
does happen sometimes as well. Not very often, but it does happen.
We saw it was seniority for the
Rock, paper, scissors?
the
Independent study.
independent study for PE.
Yes.
Is it by seniority or more lottery that?
It would be by seniority. Usually, though, if two people are interested in the same position, you'll find out they either split the position, figure out a way to split the stipend, or they say, hey, you know what, you get this one, I'll get the next one, because there's a lot of opportunities.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments on this item? Do we have the motion? Oh, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
5-0, thank you.
All right, our next item, hits go on. Item E, approve, ratify the renewed memorandum of understanding between the Fullerton School District and the Fullerton Elementary Teachers Association to establish a junior high K-8 intramural sports stipend for the 23-24 school year. Again, this is a renewed MOU, and we have a number of sports programs that we provided to our junior high schools and the junior high students at our K-8 schools. So the 5 schools are involved in a very lively and exciting competition with each other on a number of sports, and we have teachers who help support and coach and provide the ability for the students to have these leagues.
And the kids like it, and the
They love it.
principals like the competition. I move we accept this memorandum of understanding.
I second. Oh, go ahead. No, you're good.
I will second it.
Moved and seconded. Do we have any other discussion or comments or questions on this item? All right, seeing none. All those in favor say aye.
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 Outstanding, 5-0.
Right. Dr. Bob, are you next?
Yes. I was just waiting for.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Pletka. Would you like to take us through the next couple items?
Sure. So I'm filling in for Dr. Rob. So just a little pieces. So the board approved this almost a year ago, so and I believe it was October or so. Same thing to begin an assessment of our facility specifically for our performing arts centers, and so they conducted kind of that first phase. You know, what's the sort of infrastructure needed? They literally go out to the sites. They find out everything from electrical capacity to help me out, Scott. All the other facility sorts of things. So they go out, they do a site assessment, and based on the site assessment, they then begin to do kind of these next phases, which is the drawings for that. They put that scope of work, and eventually that scope of work would go before and we would go out to bid and go through that whole process. So this is really the next phase. They've done the site work, they've done the assessment, and now it's to begin to draw those plans. How'd I do, Scott? All right? Okay.
Remember, we had many committee meetings with the school and staff to help us with the schematic design, and everybody's pretty much agreed on the basic layout. So now it's time to put
can we combine these two?
And Dr. Coughlin did send
F and
something
G?
out this afternoon, just to,
Yeah, okay, so any other questions or comments, though, for Dr. Pletka or Scott on where we are as a board on approving these two projects? We did have a meeting about it. We had some leftover funds. We were able to combine them. Do you want to maybe talk about that?
Sure.
Just to
So
jog
we,
people's memory?
yeah, just to kind of jog everybody's memory, there was a piece we're using. It's going to be multi-funded. It would be funded with developer fees. It would be funded also with part of that block arts block grant, and so again a variety of sources. Today's you're not actually making a motion and voting on moving forward with the actual bid, because we don't even have done a bid. So that still is to come. This is really just to do the next phase, which is to do the drawings. And these drawings are good for 4 years. So again, as we look forward, potentially with the bond, and with the bond, we could actually add in potentially some enhancements to those sorts of facilities. So these plans, though, begin that process. We would come back to you to actually approve the actual contract to go out to bid. So this is, again, one more step moving forward. And again, this particular contract with the architects will be coming out of developer fees.
And Dr. Pletka, is there a reason that we're voting on them separately?
You can put them together.
I move that we accept F and G.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any further questions, comments, or discussion on items F or G? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
5-0, the motion carries. Thank you.
All right, I'm back again.
Oh, good.
There was one more.
We missed you.
There is one
There's
more.
more.
Item H is approve a renewed memorandum of understanding between the Fullerton School District and the Fullerton Elementary Teachers Association regarding preschool lead teacher. We have an organization that we work with called the Licensing Agency. They work at our preschool sites. They show up unannounced and unexpected to make sure that we have all of our paperwork in place, that our facilities are up to standards. And because we don't always have our district level administrators of our preschool program at the sites, the lead teacher fills in and helps start to work with the licensing agent until one of our district administrators can arrive, and this stipend supports that lead teacher who steps into that role.
Any questions or comments on this item?
Yes, Chad, does that mean we will pay up to $5,000 at every single site?
No, it's not. It's the stipend, which is $500 for the lead teacher, and there could be up to 10 lead teachers. There was at the capacity, maximum capacity of our preschool program.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions or comments on this item? All right, do we have a motion to approve?
I move that we approve this item.
All right, Trustee Berryman.
I'll
moved.
second.
Seconded by Trustee Sugarman. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 5-0.
You guys have
Thank
been
everybody.
busy.
We've already
Busy,
done aye.
busy Pamela.
I think we have one item that
Yes.
we'd like to be addressed at the next meeting.
Well,
And
I'm thinking that I'd like to ask that our board president and Dr. Pletka work with the consultant so that on our October 3rd meeting, we can at least begin the process of a self-assessment of the board. So whether we complete it on that date or we go through the process of deciding what that self-assessment will look like, I think we can set the terms at that October 3rd meeting. Does that, do y'all approve or like that idea? Anyone want to second it?
I'll second it.
Okay.
Can I add to it, or can I just say something? I think that,
She accepts it.
yes, please.
I also would like, if we're having the October 3rd meeting, if any of the trustees have something for that meeting, if they could submit their ideas to you so that you can put those on the agenda.
Mhm.
And then if we could do I mean, I don't know if they have time, but the self-assessment's always a good thing to do prior to, and then come to that meeting with that data so that, I mean, in the looking at our schedule and looking at how many meetings we have over the next few months, adding another meeting to our district staff might be a lot.
Yeah.
So if we can maybe incorporate that self-assessment, and because I think that that's something we do individually, and then pass it along, and then the data comes up at that meeting. I mean, I would even be willing to do something like that as opposed to adding another protocol meeting before the end of the year. I think it's a lot. I think we have 10
Bev?
meetings over the next couple months.
I really like Bev's suggestion because in the way past, that's exactly what we would do. The CSBA would send us a questionnaire. We would self-assess. We would then turn it in, and when we showed up at the meeting, all the results were already recorded and
Gives you a
seen.
starting point to talk about.
Great.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, well, also, Anna, it's going to be CEPI Day from CSBA, right? Does she have some information that she wants to give us so that we can start preparing, and Dr. Pleka and I can take these comments into consideration?
Sure, and we'll reach out to her and ask. CSBA has some great assessment tools, and she probably has one in particular that she likes, and we'll use that.
That sounds great.
And she seemed like such a great lady.
Any other requests for future items? Requests for information, communiques? All right, great. So we have our special board meeting for Tuesday, August 29th regarding online safety. And our next regular board meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, September 12th. We are now adjourned at 8:08 p.m.
22nd,
We do.
Nice.
Superintendent
I
assessment.
mean, you know.
Yeah, just an evaluation.
Yeah.
Next
All right.
week. We'll be back.
We'll be back. All right, 8:08 p.m. We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
There's more.